All right, Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is going to be for November 16th through the 22nd. My name is Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology, very different from mainstream astrology, which you can find more about down in the description. All right, Sagittarius, so very important week. We do have Saturn squaring up to Neptune. This isn't the easiest transit, and it is very important, however, and it can be very productive. This is all shifting sort of on Wednesday when Saturn gets within a 1-degree orb of that square up to Neptune, and Neptune goes station direct. So in a nutshell, there's disillusionment sort of lifting and fading, perhaps involving the communicative aspects of life, your mind. You know, Neptune in the third house is about more of the intuitive feelings in terms of how we think, how we synergize, more of the practical stuff, going with the flow with that, and communicating from the heart, really. And so if you've had any visions, though, any dreams or ideals relating to either social things or reading or writing, stuff like that, over the past 5 years, now is the time to really ground it, make it into a reality. You know, Saturn is reality, and it comes into contact with those dreams, with those visions, and the best way of working with this is to ground it, to take it slow and steady. This is going on all the way through December 5th, so it's a slow and steady approach now to grounding our visions, our dreams. And at the same time, you know, with Saturn in your 12th house, you're building your foundations by connecting to God, by getting that meditative time, by that rest and relaxation. And so that's where you can really ground all of this, is through that alone time. And it's building that foundation for you to connect to the daily sphere, which, you know, is more of that third house energy of communicating, exchanging, correspondence. You know, is something that is, you know, important for you to sort of ground, but go with the flow. So the key with this is slow and steady towards anything that you are involved with in that third house, as well as bringing in that spiritual approach to any of your long-term plans, long-term goals. If you've been, and this is all, you know, not very new. We've already been thinking quite a bit about this, or we've been aware of this lately, because Saturn's such a slow-moving planet. But if you've been feeling any type of confusion out involving the future, you know, it's because of this sort of, well, it's not, this isn't causing it, but this aspect is describing that, which is this new intuitive guidance, this new intuitive approach to these things, and really seeing how we can make them to, you know, into something that's much more meaningful, much more true to us, which is both Saturn and Scorpio and Neptune in a spiritual sense, on a soul level sense. So yeah, so over the next few weeks, slow and steady grounding both the spiritual and the daily sort of energies and communicative energies, especially with any dreams that you might have or visions involving that, is going to be the highlight with this transit. So leading up to that, and I don't feel like it's going to be all suddenly at once there on Wednesday, but it will be unfolding throughout the week. But leading up to that, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the sun does conjoin up to Mercury. Mercury's behind the sun in this configuration, and this is all in your 11th house, which is where you just had the new moon. So this whole lunar cycle, this whole, you know, few weeks that we're in and the next 6 months, is about your new beginnings involving your groups, your friends, networking, anything that you would consider satisfaction, especially in terms of, you know, giving, maybe through your career or work or whatever it might be, philanthropic perhaps, or community related, or with your friends. Anyways, new beginnings there. A lot of that's continuing to move forward this week in this first quarter phase, a lot of energy for that. And with Mercury behind the sun here, there could be a lot of passion. In fact, it could be very very jittery too. There's a lot of very communicative energy. So the key with that is to bring in that relationship energy, which is Mercury ruling your 7th. Bring in that career energy, focus on relationship, focus on career in terms of balancing them, because those areas are going to be behind a very passionate sun in that 7th. See the long road, see that slow and steady approach, as well as mutual respect and mutual understanding. So that's going to be the first half of the week. Then around Friday, we do have some new aspects. Mercury sextiling up to the North Node. There is positive energy continuing to go towards that career stuff, big picture stuff, which has been the North Node over the past 2 years. There's a lot of motivation, a lot of drive to be implemented with that stuff, and perhaps even enjoyment and even connections in the career front or work front, or anything you do on that sort of legacy level. Then on that same day, though, Venus does square up to Pluto. So there is this test to that. And maybe there is some change that's needed, maybe even in the work or the routine, and maybe with those groups or anything on that community level. It's very important to have non-attachment to those areas this around Friday. because things are changing, and it can be very intense. It can be very deep when you're intent on that. And this is all what Pluto's really about, is stripping away non-attachment so we can have a deeper connection to, for you, your career, your relationships, your career, your routine, and your group sort of relationships. So that's going to be on Friday, and then over the weekend, the sun does sextile up to the North Node, so more positive focus and intent relating to the career stuff, which is quite nice. And then on Sunday, going into next week, Mars does sextile up to Saturn, so there is that slow and steady approach to things. It's very nice to have Mars in easy aspect up to a Saturn that's squaring up to Neptune, and I think we'll feel this especially going into next week, which is slow and steady approach to, again, grounding your spiritual self, getting that alone time, getting that connective time, and all of that, could be very motivating, in fact, with this kind of aspect. But the emphasis this week is that there is shifts taking place in the more social or communicative mental aspects of things, maybe some new spiritual insights coming your way and some reality unfolding involving that, so that you can ground this, the spiritual energy into whatever it is you're involved with on that daily level. All right, Sagittarius, so have a great week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.